Every time my brother wants to play music while he's working in the garage, he goes grab his old iPad, plugs in an aux cable to his audio system, and start playing music that way. He's been doing that for years. So I told him, I'm gonna make your setup better and way easier to control. I also told him that I wasn't gonna change much. I was just adding one device. The goal here was simple. I want him to be able to play and control his music wirelessly using AirPlay 2. And that's exactly what we did thanks to the 𝐒𝐈𝐁 LP10. It turns any existing audio system like my brother's into an AirPlay 2 and Google Cast streamer. So what does that mean and what option does that open for him? Well, now he can walk into his garage and just ask his phone or Apple Watch to play music through those speakers. Or even better, trigger shortcuts automation to start a specific song or a playlist. Pretty cool, right? Let me show you how we did it. What's going on, everyone? My name is Edgar and welcome to my channel where I talk about smart home tech, mainly using Apple Home, Apple shortcuts, and more. If that's something you're interested, consider subscribing. Now that I pretty much laid out the main reason why we wanted to do this, let's take a look at what comes in the box and how we set it up. Like I said, the LP10 is a wireless music streamer and it is compatible with a ton of popular music streaming platforms. You can connect it using Wi-Fi on both 2.4 and 5 GHz, or you can hardwire with an Ethernet cable if you have that option available. Here are the specifications on the screen, so feel free to pause the video if you want to take a closer look. Now, inside the box you get documentation, a 3.5mm to RCA adapter cable, a USB-C cable for power, a 3.5mm aux cable, the power adapter, and a remote control with no batteries included. Here's the 𝐒𝐈𝐁 LP10 itself. You have control on the top, and here we have it next to my iPhone 16 Pro for size comparison. Now on the top, starting from the left, you have a mode button, a volume down, a play and pause, and a volume up. And even though those are the main functions, these buttons can actually do more depending on how you press them. I will also put a screenshot on the screen showing all the commands and extra buttons functions that you can do. Now let's move to the back of the device where all the ports are located. You get an Ethernet port if you want to hardwire this directly to your network, a USB-A port for a thumb drive so you can play music directly from the drive, a 3.5mm line in, which is going to let you connect devices like a CD player or even an old iPad, just like my brother was doing before, a 3.5 line out, which is exactly what we're using to connect this directly to the amplifier. Since this amp was already using a 3.5 aux cable, all I did was unplug it from the iPad and plug it directly to the LP10. You also get an optical output, which I believe would give you the best audio quality, but that cable isn't included and your audio system needs to support it, which more than likely will. The good news is optical cables are pretty affordable if you want to go that route and buy that cable. And finally, you have the USB port for power. Now, since my brother was already running this setup with a 3.5 aux cable, setting this up was extremely simple. We plugged in the power, we connected the aux cable to the line out, and that was it when it comes to setting it up hardware-wise. Right after that, I went to the App Store and I downloaded the Go Control app. I added the LP10 to his Wi-Fi network and went through the process, which honestly was pretty straightforward. There was a firmware update, which I'll talk about it real quick. At first, the device was working, but we noticed some slight glitches and a drop in audio quality compared to when the iPad was connected directly. To be honest, I was a little bit disappointed at first, but then I noticed that the LP10 was downloading a firmware update. And once that update was downloaded and finished installing, this thing became rock solid, reliable. My brother and I tested AirPlay 2 from both of our phones, and there was no dropout or glitches at all. He can now walk into his garage, turn on his system, and AirPlay music instantly. I'm really impressed with how quickly this turned his old audio system into something much more modern with such a simple change. He didn't have to buy a smart speaker like a HomePod or Sono. He gets to keep his existing setup, but now it's part of his smart home, which in my opinion is the best part. If you like this video, hit the like button and let me know what you think. Will you add the 𝐒𝐈𝐁 LP10 to your system, or would you rather buy a smart speaker with AirPlay? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.